If you're watching this, I want you to know God is inviting you closer, not into religion, not into pressure, but into relationship, into truth. And today I'm sharing 5 things you can do to grow in your faith starting now. These have changed the way that I walk with God, how I pray, how I see miracles in my family, and they're simple but powerful. So let's dive in. 1. Prepare the night before. Make space for God before the day begins. Every deep relationship requires intention. When you make plans the night before to meet with God, you're telling your spirit, this matters. Whether it's your journal, your Bible, worship music ready, or just setting an alarm to give God your first, you're saying, I'm showing up. In the spiritual realm, preparation is alignment. You're preparing your soil so the seed can take root. When I do this, I don't wake up in chaos. I wake up in purpose. Speak this into your life. I'm not waiting to feel spiritual. I'm choosing to meet with the one who fills me. Preparation attracts presence. Number 2, love on God. He wants your heart, not your checklist. This one is everything. So often we approach God with tasks, read a chapter, say a prayer, and move on, but you're not called to perform for Him. You're called to know Him and be known by Him. When you take time to pour out your love, even if it's messy, even if it's just words, heaven responds because worship is intimacy, and intimacy activates authority. In the spirit, when you love on God, you're aligning your soul to its original design, to adore, to behold, to connect. This shifted everything for me. I used to think I had to say the right things or come with a certain kind of energy, and now I just sit before Him and I say, I love you. I want to know you. I'm here for you, not just what you can give me. And that's where I've seen Him show up in the deepest way. For you, slow down, love Him first. That's the beginning of real faith. Number 3, declare and visualize. Speak what you believe until it's what you see. Faith is voice activated. God created the world with His voice, and we're made in His image. When you speak life, declare healing, and visualize the promises of God coming to pass, you are partnering with heaven. In the spiritual realm, every word you speak carries weight. It either builds your future or reinforces your fear. I've been declaring healing over my son, seeing him walking flat-footed, whole, strong, even when it doesn't look like it in the natural. I declare it in the spirit because I'm not agreeing with what I'm seeing. I'm agreeing with truth. For you, start declaring what you believe God for, even if it feels crazy. Don't whisper your future. Speak it like it's already done. Number 4, feed your faith. Listen to testimonies. Stir up belief. Faith comes from hearing, and sometimes we need to hear how God moved for others to believe He'll move for us. Testimonies are prophetic invitations. They don't just encourage you, they open a portal in the spirit realm that says, God, do it again. I listen to healing stories, provision stories, miracles, anything I'm believing for. I feed my faith with what God has already done. And every time I do, it shifts something in me. For you, turn off the noise that drains you. Turn on the stories that remind you who your God is. If He did it for one, He'll do it for you. Number 5, sow where you want to grow. Your seeds shape your season. This one right here is next level. If there's any area where you're contending for breakthrough, start sowing into that area. Not just money, but prayer, encouragement, time, even intercession. In the spirit, sowing is partnership. Heaven never ignores a seed of faith. Example, if you're believing for a prodigal to come home, start praying over someone else's son or daughter. If you're believing for healing, pray for healing for others. God doesn't just see the seed, he responds to it with harvest. For you, what you sow now will bloom later. So sow like your breakthrough depends on it, because it does. Here's a bonus. Take off limits. Challenge every thought that says, not me, not possible for me. When you think that's not possible for me, stop and ask, who told you that? God is not limited. So why are we limiting what he can do in our lives? Here's a spiritual truth. The enemy doesn't have to destroy you. He just has to convince you to settle and that God is not who he says he is. But when you challenge limitation with the truth of God, your thoughts come into alignment, and that's where breakthrough begins. Start catching every limiting belief and replace it with God's truth. Say it out loud. Nothing is impossible. My story isn't over, and what God has spoken will come to pass. If this spoke to you, don't just listen and move on. Ask God which of these you need to act on today. Save this video, share it with someone who needs to grow their faith again. You don't need more perfection, you need more presence, and it starts now.